Remember that the course is about knowledge. That is the key. You are writing about knowledge. You're writing about how knowledge works, how it relates to itself, how one knowledge system relates to another knowledge system, how personal knowledge affects or relates to shared knowledge. So how the different ways of knowing relate to each other, how they contribute and change each other and influence each other and contradict each other in some ways, how they correct for each other, how different areas of knowledge are influenced by the ways of knowing, and how personal and shared knowledge might relate to different areas of knowledge, how ways of knowing influence personal knowledge, how ways of knowing influence and contribute to shared knowledge, how shared knowledge is a complex system and is not just one shared knowledge, but lots of different types of shared knowledges kind of coming together. So all of your explanations, I think, inside the document always need to be highlighting and emphasizing the use of all of those terms. You should have in every one of the fields inside the PDF, you should have not the word knowledge, personal knowledge, shared knowledge, etc. So I've written some notes here from what I gave some of the students this afternoon. So just have a quick look at these notes over here. That kind of layout could be how the explanation part of the PDF, where you're where you are developing the ideas and supporting that development using the real life situation, could be laid out. So please don't talk about the real life situation only. Don't talk about the real life situation in terms of how you're developing the argument. Remember, you're analyzing the knowledge question. So in case you're confused, what am I talking about? The first bit is real life situation, summarize that. Then you've got to state your knowledge question. Then you've got to explain how your knowledge question relates to your real life situation. Okay? Those are the first three fields. Now the next field, which is the body, the outline, the structure of your argument, please look very carefully at what that task instruction is asking you to do. It's saying to you that you've got to analyze the knowledge question. Right? So what does analyze mean? It means you've got to pull it apart. So here's kind of an example. I hope you can read that. Right? So there's a point there. Way of knowing one influences way of knowing two. And then for example of how way of knowing one influences way of knowing two. Reason influences emotion. Or maybe reason influences personal knowledge. Or emotion and reason influence shared knowledge. Maybe whatever your knowledge claim. So these things here are claims about knowledge and how knowledge works, how it's constructed, how knowledge is shared, using the key terms of TOK that we've been looking in the course. Then you support that claim by referring to the example. Your prime example is your first real life situation. You could even have other real life situations right here mentioned. These are just some other examples for how you might construct the knowledge claims. Personal knowledge influences or relates to or contributes to shared knowledge. Shared knowledge system one, the shared knowledge of historians in who are studying history versus or contradicts or is in conflict with the shared knowledge different system, which is cultural based or indigenous based or religious based. Here's another claim where you might be saying, personal knowledge of one group, of one person influences, contributes, is in contradiction or in conflict to the personal knowledge of another person. Why? Well, maybe this personal knowledge here was informed by academic study of history, whereas this personal knowledge here of this person or small group has been informed by their cultural traditions, by their religious kind of upbringing perhaps, or their own biases that have been influenced by, a very racist society. All right? Do you understand what I'm saying here? That each of these is a claim about knowledge, about how knowledge works. You're making a claim about knowledge, and then you're supporting that claim by giving an example that you have drawn from your real life situation. Maybe mainly from your first and main real life situation, but possibly also other real life situations. Here are other examples. For example, something that you may have studied in biology or in geography, and you just make a quick reference to it. Without needing to go into too much explanation. The people that have studied in biology, and you're looking at how evolution has been proved through the use of the fossil record. So that's shared knowledge system there, using evidence, using the fossil record, and how that's in contradiction to the shared knowledge of a religious tradition, which is believing in creation. All right? So knowledge claims supported by examples and real life situations. That is how you could sort of lay out and develop your presentation, the body of your presentation. Okay, good luck.